wasn't giving my props in Oaktown.
Okay. All right. Here come the hype. Don't give me no problem. Just give me the light. These niggas, they ain't ready. They ain't real. They ready to fight. The game dead is in the bed. I'm bringing the light. What can I say? I've been this way. I'm women's for life. These niggas weak. And they just know shit on light. I'm gonna know. It ain't enough. I turn it up. Don't know what they think. Must be thinking too much. Look, don't care what you do. Don't care what you try. I don't know what to tell. You not on my level. Nigga, I was born to rap. Nigga, I'm on, got that mojo, Austin Powers. We do not fuck with them niggas, we don't know no cowards. Bro, my shit, we're gonna shit, it ain't gon' sit. When I take your spot, I hold the spot, ain't no leaks. When I'm playing with that company, I'm gon' go my people, nigga. The way we got the bricks, I make this shit look easy. You screaming out with cheeks, that man don't find like tricks. You touch my blow, you text, you see how quick it be. I told you, I'm a bummer, bitch, be ready, oh, I'm leaving. These rappers just my lady, me, I swear I'm not the evil. Go, alright. Tell me good night. Tell me so. I ain't never nut. I already told. I'm almost for life. So don't run for me, nigga. Don't come for me, nigga. Been doing my man from none of my lands. I need a bag. I need a bag. So I'm back in my bag. They need it, but shit, I got it. I got a man. I'm gonna introduce you to that mojo flow that I can learn. Don't care what you do, don't care if you try. Don't know the time. It's not on my level, nigga. I was born to rap. Nigga, I'm on promo, get that mojo off the power. We do not fuck with them niggas, we don't know no count. You don't understand, I'm the man, you the man, you the trick. You done, tell a good night, they should be counting. I'm in a boy, I'm in a truck, and it's a river. Nah, I can't talk, I gotta go, cause I'm in the gym. Shut this shit, they grown ups. This mojo just for grown ups. We ride with my baby, she said, boy, I love you so much. I said, I love you too, but I gotta go, get it sewn up. I gotta get this paper, cause my baby needs the rubbers. Alright. Bitch, the hot, show me his heart. Now give me the nut. Look at me shake, shook like that. I already talk. I ain't even nuts. Don't care what you do. Don't care if you try. I don't know the type. You're not home enough. Nigga, I was born to rap. Nigga, I'm on promo. Get that mojo Austin Powers. We do not fuck with them niggas. We don't know no cowards.
Shalom, man. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatham to all the brothers, Yahweh Shem Alathan by Shem Yahushua to all the sisters. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. Right, and today is the Wednesday biblical law class. Right, and what to do? What's coming up in a couple of days? Merry Christmas. Right, that Christmas thing that everybody in the world is going to celebrate. Even if you're not Christian, they're going to celebrate it, right? But they don't know that they're sinning against the Most High, man. They don't know that Christmas is against the Most High, all the way down from Santa Claus to the mistletoe, right, to the Christmas tree, all the way into the giving of the gifts to the tree. All that is the worship of another god, man. That is idol worship, man. That's something that they do not, that the world does not know. And the world does not know that because the wicked is ruling the world. The most wicked man on the planet is ruling the world. And that's why the world does not know about that, man. Give me 1 second. Man, it's hot. Hold up. It started getting hot. Right, because the wicked man is ruling the world. right? He's the ruler of the world, and he's covered the faces of the judges thereof. Right, so instead of people keeping Passover, keeping the Feast of Unleavened Bread, keeping the Hanukkah, the Feast of Dedication, we are keeping all types of pagan holidays, and don't and my people don't even know it. They're just doing what they're just going along with what the world says, doing what their oppressor says. They're doing what their oppressor says, man. So today we're gonna get into all of that, man. We're gonna get into all of that. We were gonna get into how we're keeping America afloat with spending trillion. It's estimated that we were going to spend $1 trillion this holiday season. Hell, Slovakia, these hell day season. It was estimated that we were going to spend $1 trillion, $1 trillion, not a billion, $1 trillion with a T. And that's what happens, man. That's what happens when the wicked are in rulership, man. Everybody just spends their money. All right. First, we're gonna start out. Let's get John 8:32. Let's get the book of John, chapter 8, verse 32. The book of John, chapter 8, verse 32. All right. And it reads, "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." Right? It says you should know the truth, man. And what's the truth, man? What's the truth? The truth is not Christmas. The truth is not Thanksgiving. The truth is not New Year's Day, New Year's coming up, man. The truth is not 4th of July. Right? The truth is abiding in God's laws, man. That's what the I.S.U.P.K does every day, 365 days a year, man. We keep the commandments of God, man. You know who don't keep the commandments of God? Everybody else on the planet. Everybody else on the planet, even these fake Israelite groups, man. I wouldn't be surprised if some of them are celebrating Christmas coming up this Sabbath. I wouldn't even be surprised about it. Because they're just like a Christian pastor, man. They want to look holy on the outside, but on the inside, it's just doing all manners of wickedness, man. All manners of wickedness. That's because the Lord is not with them. But the Lord is with this I.S.U.P.K, man. It says you shall know the truth, and the truth will make you free. What would it make you free from, black man, Hispanic man, Native American man? It's going to make you free from. It's going to make you free from Christmas. That's without a doubt. It's going to make you free from celebrating Thanksgiving, man. One of those murderous day that the white man wants you to celebrate, but it's the murder of your people. Celebrating the murder of your people. Right? It says it's going to make you free. Right? Because once you find out the truth, once you find out that you are an Israelite from whatever tribe you're from one of the 12 sons of Israel, right? Once you know who you are on earth, you would want to look into that culture and start trying to keep that culture. That's why they don't put Commander General Yohana on the forefront, man. That's why they don't put Commander General Yohana. Let him go to these shows that getting millions and millions of views. They won't put Commander General Yohana up there because he's gonna spark brothers and sisters to wake up. Right, but they will put Farrakhan on there. Right, they will put the Reverend Jesse Jackson on there. They will put Al Sharpton on there. They'll put Queffro Dollars and TD Jakes. That's because they're doing what the oppressors tell them to do, which will be celebrating Christmas. All right. Let's move on, man, to the next scripture, man. I got a lot to get to today. Let's go to Psalms chapter 119, verse 142. Psalms chapter 119, verse 142. Psalms chapter 119, verse 142. Jeez, 1 second. Got a little hot in here. All right. The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 142. And it reads, "Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness," right? It says your righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, right? Because when you start to become righteous, you want to teach your kids to become righteous, right? So what everybody's not teaching their kids is the laws of God. Everybody's not teaching their kids about Passover, about Feast of Unleavened Bread, about the Feast of Purim, about Hanukkah, but they are teaching them Christmas. They're teaching them Thanksgiving. They're teaching them Easter. They're teaching them their birthdays, man. They're teaching them everything else under the sun except what the Lord ordained to be holy, what the Lord ordained you to keep. You don't want to keep those days. Everybody wants to be a Christian until those days come apart. Right? Everybody want to say that, oh, I'm following Christ. We follow Christ until the days that Christ celebrated or kept come up. And nobody wants to keep those days. Right? And it says, and thy law is the truth. So what's the truth? The truth is God's laws, man. God's laws is the truth, man. Right? Now let's get one of these laws. Right? Let's go to Exodus chapter 20. Exodus chapter 20, man. Let's go to Exodus chapter 20, verses 3. We're going to start at verse 3. I'll give everybody a second to get there. Exodus chapter 20, verse 3. It says, Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Right? So what is Christmas? Christmas is the celebration of another God, man. And it's not just Nimrod that was born on December 25th. It was plenty of different gods that has that same so-called birth date, December 25th. It's plenty of different nations that have plenty of different heathen nations that has something that they worship that was born on December 25th. Let me give you a backstory, right? So the Catholic Church, right? The Christian church, the Catholic Church came up, and they wanted to mix their paganism with Christianity. Mix their paganism with Christianity. So what they did, they took some of the principles of Christianity and they took some of the principles of paganism and they mixed them together. That's what they did. So that's why the same days that's pagan are the same days that are Christian, so-called Christian holidays, right? And they want to talk about that Christmas is the worship of that Christmas is the celebration of the birth of Jesus, of I.S.U.P.K, man. The Lord wasn't born on that day. My King I.S.U.P.K was not born on that day. And you know why he wasn't born on that day? Because you can't tell me an exact day when he was born. Why? Because he didn't celebrate his birthday. If I.S.U.P.K didn't celebrate his birthday, who the world knows is Jesus Christ, did not celebrate his birthday on December 25th, who are we to keep that day on December 25th as his birthday? Who are we? Who are we? We are nothing compared to Yahweh Shah Mashiach, who the world knows is Jesus Christ. We are nothing compared to him. All right. It says, Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, right? Or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, right? What is that picture of Caesar Borgia that's in the back of every church? And they say they say that's Jesus Christ, man. Yahweh Shah Mashiach was never a so-called white man. Ever. He's always been a black man from the tribe of Judah. Always. Always been a black man from the tribe of Judah. Right? So what is that image back there? That image is another God. That image is the worship of an actual white man that lived, man, named Caesar Borgia. And before church, you see all those preachers When I was in the Christian church, I see all those reverends and preachers before they go start church. They're always going down there and bowing down and kneeling to that picture and want to pray to that picture, man. But really, they're praying themselves into death, man. They're praying themselves unto death, unto a violent death. Right? We're gonna start at verse 4 again. It says, Thou shalt not make thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above. Right? You always see these pictures of the Most High, right? Or every time you watch a movie or something, they got the Most High as a white man, right? They got these little baby angels, right, with the little angel wings, right? It says, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. All right. Verse 5, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them. It says you shouldn't bow down yourself to them. Right? That's what they do. That's what they do all over the world. They bow down to it. They bow down to it. They bow down to Christmas trees, man. They bow down to it. Thou shalt not, verse 5, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For the Lord thy God am a jealous God. Right? The Lord thy God is a jealous God. And women should understand this. All the most the women should understand this. This is something that women should understand. They always want their men to love them and be with them because they're jealous. Right? Well, your God is jealous, black woman, Hispanic woman, Native American woman. Your God is jealous that you're giving the credit of everything that the Most High does to somebody else, to a whole nother nation, to a whole nother God. The Most High don't like that. The Most High don't like that. And then worse off, you teaching your kids not to obey the Most High. You teaching your kids how to obey another God from another nation. So like, that's what we doing. That's what we doing as a nation. What we're doing as a nation is we're disobeying our God by celebrating these heathen days. Right? And maybe everybody don't know the history. But right now we're at a time in the world where you can get this information on your phone, on your Google machine. It's handheld. You take your phone everywhere. You Google everything else, but you won't Google the history of Christmas. You won't Google the history of Thanksgiving. You won't Google the history of Halloween. You won't Google these things, but you'll Google everything else. You will Google everything else, but we won't Google the things that's most important. And serving our God is the most important thing, man. That is the most important thing. All right. We're gonna start that verse over, man. Exodus 20, the chapter 20, verses 3. It says, Thou shalt have no other gods before me. You shouldn't have no other gods before the Most High, man. No other gods. Not Christmas, not Thanksgiving, not Easter, not your birthday, man. Not putting your mother up there to be God. Know your Christian pastor. Know your Christian pastor. Because some women will ignore what their husbands say and go straight for what they go straight for what their pastor said. How you gonna ignore your husband, but then whenever the pastor says something, you're gonna do exactly what he says. You're gonna follow his command, follow his orders. That makes no sense, man. Verse 4, thou shalt not make any graven image. Salaki. Verse 4, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water underneath earth. Thou shalt not bow down to it. Or verse 5, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for the Lord thy God is a jealous God. The Lord's telling you that he's jealous, man. The Lord is telling you that he is jealous, man. That's what the Lord is telling you. The Lord telling you that he don't like that when you go give yourself to another god, or commit adultery with him and go mess with another god. The Lord don't like that. And he says, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Man, because when you go worship these other gods, man, you're showing the Lord that you really hate him. You're showing the Lord that he is nothing to you. That's what you're showing. You're showing the Lord that I know you created me, and I know you every time I'm in trouble, I say, Lord, you can get me out of this problem, right? When every time you're sick, Lord, every time you're short on your light bill, you're short on your rent, Lord, can you help me with this? And the Lord helps you with it. The Lord helps you with that. And then the first thing you do is you go celebrate a different God. You put somebody else before the Most High, something else before the Most High, and the Most High just said that he's a jealous God. The Most High said he is a jealous God, so that's why he caused us to serve other gods, because we wouldn't serve him in the first place, and that goes all the way back to when we came out of Egypt. When we came out of Egypt, and Moses went up there on Mount Sinai to get the first 5 books of the Bible, right? He come back down, and we're worshiping a golden calf. We're worshiping a golden calf, man. And we expect the Lord to help us, man. And we expect the Lord to help us, but we won't listen to nothing that the Most High has to say. Right. Now I got an article, right, about how much we're estimated to spend, how much we've been spending on Christmas. Right? Because it makes no sense to keep our oppressors rich, man. We don't go to nobody we don't go to nobody of our nationality, of our race, which is a Black, Hispanic, and Native American, right? We don't go to nobody from the nation of Israel to go get these Christmas presents. We go to Walmart, we go to Target, right? Amazon. We don't go to none of these places that our people can benefit from spending money, but we do go to our oppressors. Everything that we get from our oppressors. It says the fourth quarter of the year is full of many holiday seasons, and there is no doubt that businesses are stressing about the latest and greatest ways to bring in the new customers before the end of the retail industry busiest season. They said this is the retail industry's busiest season. This is when everybody goes out right after Thanksgiving, right? They have Black Friday sale, and everybody was out buying all these gifts for just for Christmas. And then ever since then, they've been buying. Every week is busy everywhere, giving all their hard-earned money that they earn right back to the so-called oppressors. You're making it easy. We are making it easy for the oppressors to oppress us. It's not even hard anymore for the oppressors to oppress us. All they tell you is, oh, we're gonna do today is this day and that day, and oh really? And we run out and we go buy. We be even with no money, we'd take out loans and be broke and have to pay back loans to go get gifts from the oppressors and give them to somebody else, and then say that that Santa Claus came down a chimney and put it under a tree. That's what we do. Right? We live in the ghettos. We live in the barrios. We live in housing projects. We live in apartments. There's no chimney. So what is he doing? Santa Claus is picking that lock. Santa Claus is picking that lock, and before he gives you the gives you the presents, he takes cookies and milk. Really, he's gonna take your presents too. Santa Claus is probably in there sleeping with your wife, man. Real talk. Real talk. It says before the end of the retail industry's busiest season. It says holiday shopping in 2019 was a massive hit, one of the best in the past few years, both online and at brick and mortar businesses demonstrated robust growth rates. It says this year witnesses a healthy overall consumer spending environment. The U.S. holiday sales are predicted to cross $1 trillion for the first time, and U.S. retail $1 trillion for the first time, and U.S. retail commerce spending will rise to 135 billion according to the e-market. Them is some numbers right there, man. Them is some numbers right there, and I'm pretty sure most of those is Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. It says the question now is, when will American consumers spend more during all these awesome holiday seasons? Right. Even then, they're enchanting you and try to put spells on you, talking about this holiday season. It's an awesome holiday season, the most wonderful time of year. Right. Everywhere you go out now, they got these lights. They got lights and big Christmas trees up and reindeer all in front of the yard, and they got little Caesar Borgias with a white Mary and Joseph out there, statues all in front of their yards, lit up all night, making it look like the most wonderful time of year. Everywhere you go, they playing Christmas songs. Everywhere you go, they playing Christmas songs. You at H-E-B, Christmas songs. You at I'm sorry for everybody don't know what H-E-B is, the grocery store. You're at the grocery store, Christmas songs. Walmart, Christmas songs. They're enchanting you for the season. They want you to be involved in the season because that's how they make their money. That is how they make their money. Right? Now, everybody follow me to Proverbs 3, chapter 3, verse 31. Proverbs 3, verse 31. Proverbs 3 and 31. Proverbs 3 and 31. It says, envy thou not the oppressor. Right? That's what we do. That's what we do when we celebrate the oppressor's holidays, man. We're envying the oppressor, man. We want to be just like them when we do Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter. Right? We're being just like them. That's what we're doing. We're acting just like them. We want to be just like them. Right? It says, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Don't choose his Christmas, man. Don't choose his Easter. Don't choose his Thanksgiving. Don't choose his Halloween. Don't choose his 4th of July. Don't choose none of his ways, man. Because all of his ways is going to lead Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to death, man. That's all they're going to do. Is going to lead us to death, man, because we're sinning against our power. We're disobeying our power. That's what we're doing. Every time we choose one of the oppressors' days, or choose to vote for them, we are disobeying our power, man. And we're worst of all, we're disobeying our King Yahushua Mashiach, who gave his life for us, man. He gave his life for us, and we spit on his death, man. By keeping all these other nations culture. We spit on his death, man, on his sacrifice. That's what we do. We spit on his sacrifice, man. Right? And one thing about Christmas is the mistletoe. A mistletoe has nothing to do with the birth of Jesus, man. The mistletoe has nothing to do with the birth of Jesus, but it has everything to do with every other nation on the planet. But it has nothing to do with you, Hispanic man, Black man, Native American man. It has nothing to do with us. But we be the main ones keeping that tradition of man. That's what we do. We keep that tradition of man. Why do we keep that tradition of man? Because we want to be just like our oppressors. We're envying our oppressors. Now I got an article going into the history of the mistletoe and where it comes from, man. It says why. This is the title of it. It says why do we kiss under the mistletoe? Why do we kiss under the mistletoe? We are scholars, man. We do our research. Right? We do our research so we can tighten you up on a lot of history, which is we're going to do today. We're going to show you how the mistletoe is idol worship, because we keep that thing right there as an idol. Right? It says, why do we kiss under the mistletoe? It says many ancient cultures prized mistletoe for healing properties and its romantic symbolism. Right? It says kissing under sprigs of mistletoe is well-known holiday tradition, but this little plant's history as a symbolic herb dates back thousands of years. See, it even goes back to before the birth of Christ. But for some reason on Christmas, everybody wants to have a little mistletoe. Right? It says the Greeks were known to use it as a cure for everything from menstrual cramps to spleen disorders, and the Romans neutralist Pliny Salakia, and the Roman neutralist Pliny the Elder noted it could be used as a balm. It could be used as a balm against epilepsy, ulcers, and poisons. Right? Because the Lord gave herbs as medicine. The Lord gave us herbs as medicine. So what they would do when somebody had an ulcer, right, or they drunk, or they thought they were poisoned, they'll crush it up, put it in a little wine, and then they'll drink it. Right? It says the plant's romantic overtone most likely started with the Celtic Druids of the 1st century AD, because mistletoe could blossom even during the frozen winter. The Druids came to view it as a sacred symbol of vivacity. It says, and they administered it to humans and animals alike in the hope of restoring fertility. Right? So they used to eat the plant, the mistletoe. So let's say you couldn't have babies, or you want to have a baby, but you've been trying and it wasn't working with you and your man. So the woman to eat the mistletoe, or they'll crush it up and put it in wine and they'll drink it, or they'll use it to put it on their food. All right, but they'll eat the mistletoe, and it'll help with their fertility. It'll help with them not being able to conceive. Right? Another famous chapter in the mistletoe folklore comes from the Norse mythology. The Norse mythology is like the Vikings, with Odin and Thor and Loki. Right? It says, as the story goes, when God Odin's son Baldur was prophesied to die, his mother Frigg, the goddess of love, there it is again, that they're going to have mistletoe and something trying to be romantic, and the goddess of love went to all the animals and plants of the natural world to secure an oath that they would not harm him. It says, but Frigg neglected to consult with the unassuming mistletoe. Ain't that sound like that's crazy? It's like they scared of plants, and they scared of they're scared of plants and animals, like, right? It says, so the scheming god Loki made an arrow from the plant and saw that it was used to kill the otherwise invincible Baldur. According to one sunnier version of the myth, the gods were able to resurrect Baldur from the dead, delighted Frigg when then declared mistletoe a symbol of love and vowed to plant a kiss on it, vowed to plant a kiss on all those who passed beneath it. See, that's where you get that's where you get that from. You get the mistletoe and putting it over somebody's head and giving them a kiss. You get that from Norse mythology. You get that from Odin and Thor and Loki and Frigg. That's where you get that from, because Frigg was the goddess of love. That's where you get that. That's where they get that from. So the mistletoe don't have nothing to do with Christmas. The mistletoe don't have nothing to do with the birth of Jesus. The mistletoe has everything to do with idol worship. And nowadays it's not even idol worship, because now you put a mistletoe over somebody's head, it's like enchanting you. It's like witchcraft. They're enchanting you to give a kiss. Now a pedophile could put a mistletoe over your kid's head and you now kiss. That's nonsense. That's a horrible way of thinking, especially in these days nowadays, where everybody, when most of the people that are in America are pedophiles. Most people in America are pedophiles, or all across the world are pedophiles, because the white race by itself is a pedophile alone. That's why the Catholic Church has over 200,000 different child molestation cases. Right, and the Christian church follows right along with that, because those pastors have a lot of child molestation cases also. All right. It says the mistletoe's association with fertility and vitality continued through the Middle Ages, and by the 18th century, it had become widely incorporated into Christmas celebrations. It says just how it made the jump from just how it made the jump from sacred herb to holiday decoration remains up for debate. But the kissing tradition appears to have first caught on among servants in England before spreading to the middle classes. Right. That was because in the Middle Ages, that was the way that the king was able to go around giving kisses to all the women, including probably, I'm pretty sure it was brothers' wives in there he was trying to get kisses from, and he was the king, or he was the upper echelon. He was the lord. He was the what would they call it? The ruler of a certain area. Going around kissing on other brothers' wives. You ever seen that movie? What's it called? Braveheart. You ever seen the movie Braveheart? When he wasn't the king, but he was like a governor over that area. And when they had the wedding, he stopped the whole wedding. He said, wait, before y'all consummate the marriage, I must have sex with your wife first. Which made a whole bunch of brothers start marrying in secret. But that was really a practice then. When the rulers over the area, when you have a wedding, your wife was beautiful, they want to come in and have sex with your wife before you did. right? It says, as part of the early custom, men were allowed to steal a kiss from any woman caught standing under the mistletoe, and refusing was viewed as bad luck. Yet another tradition instructed the merrymakers to pluck a single berry from the mistletoe with each kiss, and to stop smooching once they were all gone. See what we're talking about? That's the history of the mistletoe, man. It's wicked. It's wicked. They just want everybody to be kissing on everybody. And that's why coronavirus is running rampant. And that's why in the Middle Age, the what's it called? The Black Plague was running crazy. Because they're unsanitary, man. Everybody's kissing everybody. And you know those kisses led up to other things that I don't want to say. Right? I got another article here about the Christmas tree. Got some more history coming out about the Christmas tree and where the Christmas tree come from. You know what? Let me do Nimrod first. Where's Nimrod? There it is. We're gonna do Nimrod first, because the tree goes back all the way to Nimrod and the first Babylonian Empire. Nimrod was the grandson of Cush, and he's the one that built the Tower of Babel, because he said he wanted to go up there and battle the Most High. That didn't work out good for him. That did not work out good for him, trust me. Because at one point in time, everybody was speaking the same language, and everybody was speaking the same language, so everybody could communicate. And they built a tower to go up to the Most High. And he said he wanted to go battle the Most High. No. That tower was thrown down before it can even be built. It ain't gonna happen. You think that's like voting. Like the white man took everything by murdering, robbing, and killing, and then he's gonna give you the opportunity to vote him out of power. Right? The Most High made everybody. Now he's gonna give you the means to defeat him. You can't defeat the Most High. He's the Most High. He made everything. The heavens, the earth. Like, why would you even want to challenge the Most High? Why would you even want to be like, yeah, we could fight? Why? It makes no sense. You do like that, flick you off your throne. It makes no sense. It said the Nimrod tree. And then it says Nimrod, the Lord of Christmas. Right, because literally everybody know he's the first one. It says on each anniversary of his birth, December 25th, Nimrod would visit the evergreen tree and leave gifts upon it. Right, and then it says the plain truth about Christmas. Right, it says Nimrod. Nimrod started the great organized worldly apostasy from God that has dominated this world until now. Nimrod married his own mother. Whoa! No wonder he thought he can go up there and fight the Most High. He married his own mama, which is weird. Married his own mother, whose name was Semiramis. It says after Nimrod's death, his so-called mother wife Semiramis propagated the evil doctrine of survival of Nimrod as a spirit being. She claimed a full-grown evergreen tree sprang overnight from a dead tree stump, which symbolized the springing forth unto new life of the dead Nimrod. So now she's saying that this evergreen tree sprung up overnight. That gotta be my wife's my husband's son. I don't know what you would call him. It's weird. But that's gotta be Nimrod. That's gotta be Nimrod. He's back. He's a spiritual being back in the tree. She's It says which symbolized the spring forth unto the new life of the dead of Nimrod. It says on each anniversary of his birth, she claimed Nimrod would visit the evergreen tree and leave gifts upon it. On December 25th was his birthday. See, there you go. That's why we leave presents to the tree instead of giving gifts to each other. You never wondered that? Why we give gifts to each other, right, and not the tree? I mean, why we give gifts to the tree and not give gifts to each other? They just said it right now because they thought that Nimrod would visit the tree every day every time his birthday passed, which was December 25th, right? And he'll leave presents at the tree. It says she claimed Nimrod would visit the evergreen tree and leave gifts upon it. On December 25th was the birthday of Nimrod. This is the real origin of the Christmas tree. Right? It says traditionally, a Yule log was burned in the fireplace on Christmas Eve, and during the night, as the log's embers, ember died, there appeared in the room, as if by magic, a Christmas tree surrounded by gifts. The Yule log represented the sun god Nimrod. All right, the sun god Nimrod. That's where that worship of the sun comes from. Not sun like S-O-N, sun like S-U-N, like Sunday. Right? It says, and the sun represented the sun god Nimrod, and the Christmas tree represented himself resurrected as his own son Tammuz. Right? If y'all ever watch old like videos of the olden days, like movies like Alexander or Roman movies or something, they're always going to worship the sun god, whether it be Jupiter, whether it be Apollos. They always want to worship the sun god, and that's where we get that sun god worship from here today, right? Because we go to church on Sunday, right? Instead of the Lord's Sabbath, we go to church on the day that they worship the sun. Every day of the week has a different God. It says, so our Christmas tree and our Yule log have tremendous meaning, but not a Christian meaning. The Yule log is the dead Nimrod, human ruler of the ancient Babylon, who was eventually deified as the sun incarnate. Like, so they said that Nimrod was the son incarnated, and hence a god. The Christmas tree. It says the mystical Tammuz, the slain god, come to life again. Right, that's what that Christmas tree represents, is Nimrod coming to life again. It says it's now we're going to get into some other gods that were born on December 25th, trying to copy Nimrod, right? They're trying to copy Nimrod as the sun god, right? Because even goes back to ancient Egyptian too. They say Ra, right? We're about to get into it. It says the real origin of Christmas. The real origin of Christmas goes back into ancient Babylon. It is bound up in the organized apostasy with which Satan has gripped a deceived world thieves. It is many centuries in Egypt. It was always believed that the son of I.S.U.P.K, right, Egyptian name for Queen of Heaven, was born on December 25th. Right? It says Semiramis also bore the title Queen of Heaven. Right? So Nimrod's mother was Nimrod's mother wife was the Queen of Heaven. And then it says now Iris is also called the Queen of Heaven. and her son was born on December 25th, like Nimrod. Um, it says paganism celebrated this famous birthday over most. It says of the known world of the centuries before the birth of Christ. So now it was Nimrod. Then it went to Isis and Ra or whatever, Iris and Ra, Salaki. And then it says now the paganism is taken away, and they're adopting the same date of December 25th as the worship of their as the birthday of their gods, right? And it says centuries before the birth of Christ, right? And it says Christmas as a pagan holiday traces back thousands of years before to a man named Nimrod, founder of ancient pagan Babylon. It says December 25th was highly honored and recognized by Nimrod's supporter. Many centuries later, this pagan custom was Christianized as being the birthday of Christ, which we know that is not true, right? They don't know when Christ was born. Nobody knows the day Christ was born, but it was more than likely in the springtime, around Passover. That's when he was born, because you couldn't. It's almost impossible to have a baby in the middle of the desert in ancient Israel. You know what I mean? It's almost impossible. It's not almost impossible. It's impossible. That baby would have froze to death. Mother would have died from leukemia or pneumonia or some sickness. It'd be too cold out there in the middle of the winter in the desert. It'd be too cold out there. There's no way nobody's having a baby outside during that time in a manger. No way. No way. No way. I know Yahweh shall put off some miracles. Right, put off some miracles, but I don't think he was doing. I don't think the Most High was doing that. Most High was like, he was gonna be like, dang, like, I don't think Most High was gonna help Yahweh shall with that one. Right, like, that's not. It's just not probable. You know what I mean? It's not. It don't make sense. I know it just doesn't make sense. Where we at? I lost my place. Oh man. Oh, it says Jesus was not born on December 25th, but December 25th can be traced back to Genesis and the man named Nimrod. It just says a whole bunch of. Here we go. This is what I wanted. It says many false gods whose birthday was December 25th, fashioned after Nimrod. It says December 25th. Not only was Mithra, the sun god of Mithraism, Mithraism, said to be born at this time of year, but Osiris, Horus, Hercules, Bacchus, Adonis, Jupiter, Tammuz, and other sun gods were also supposedly born at what is today called the Christmas season and winter solstice. Dang. Let's go back. So it says Osiris, Horus, Mithra, Osiris, Horus, Hercules, Bacchus, Adonis, and Jupiter, and Tammuz, and other sun gods were also born on December 25th. It's crazy. It says the winter solstice, December, was the time at which all sun gods, from Osiris to Jupiter. Remember, we was talking about Osiris was the ancient Egypt god of the sun, and then Jupiter was the Roman god of the sun. And Mithra has celebrated their birthdays. The celebration adorned with the pine tree of Adonis, the holly tree of Saturn, and the mistletoe of the pagan druids. It says the kindling of the newborn sun god's fire. That's crazy. That's crazy. They go that history. They go that history about Nimrod and those trees. Now we can get to some modern day history of the Christmas tree. And then I'm going to show. Then we're going to go in the Bible. I'm going to show you in the Bible where God told you about this tree. It says this is the true history of the Christmas tree. It says the history of Christmas trees goes back to the symbolic use of evergreens in ancient Egypt and Rome, and continues with the German tradition of the candlelight Christmas trees first brought to America in the 1800s. Discover the history of the Christmas tree from the earliest winter solstice celebration to the Queen Victoria's decorating habits and the annual lighting of the Rockefeller Center tree in New York City. All right, because in New York City they got that big tree out there in at Rockefeller Center. It's damn about 16. Oh, is it 16 feet? I think it's bigger than that. It says long before the advent of Christianity, plants and trees that remained green all year had a special meaning for people in the winter, right? Because it's a part of winter solstice, about trees that can live in the extreme cold. It says just as people today decorate their homes during the festive season with pine, spruce, and fir trees, ancient peoples hung evergreen boughs over their doors and windows. Boom! There we go with the wreaths. Salakia. So the wreaths were the celebration of the winter solstice, right? So now we got mistletoes out the way. We got Christmas trees, right? And now we have the wreaths. We have about the wreaths hanging on people's doors. It's all idol worship, and it's worshiping another god. That's worship of the centers of the winter solstice. It says in many countries it was believed that evergreens would keep away witches, ghosts, evil spirits, and illness. In the northern hemisphere, the shortest day and the longest night of the year falls on December 21st or December 22nd, and is called the winter solstice. Right? That's why we turn our times back. That's why we turn our times back. Is because we're going to get longer days. Is it longer days? Shorter days, longer nights. We're going to get shorter days, longer nights. It says many ancient people believed that the sun was a god and that the winter came every year because the sun god had become sick and weak. They celebrated the solstice because it meant that at last the sun god would begin to get well. Evergreen burrows reminded them of all the green plants that would grow again when the sun god was strong and the summer would return. Weird. It's like if you didn't have the Bible, you would believe anything back then. If you didn't have the Bible to give you understanding on certain aspects, you believe anything. You believe that the sun god got weak and sick. Was the sun god up there coughing? You know what I mean? The sun god then caught the flu. Ain't that something? Boy, your God ain't even strong enough to fight off the flu, bro. That is crazy. That is crazy. It says the ancient Egyptians worshipped a god called Ra, who had the head of a hawk and wore the sun as a blazing disc in his crown. At the solstice, when Ra began to recover from his illness, the Egyptians filled their homes with green palm rushes, which symbolized for them to triumph over triumph of life over death. Right, because in the wintertime, I'm pretty sure everybody was getting sick, and they didn't have any medicines of the time to be able to fight off the flu virus and things like that. It says early Romans marked the solstice with a feast called Saturnalia in honor of Saturn, the god of agriculture. The Romans knew that the solstice meant that soon farms and orchards would be green and fruitful. To mark the occasion, they decorated their homes and temples with evergreen burrows, meaning those wreaths. It says in Northern Europe, mysterious Druids, the priests of the ancient Celts, also decorated their temples with evergreen burrows as a symbol of everlasting life. The fierce Vikings in the Scandinavia thought that evergreens were the special plant of the sun god Balder. All right, so that's where the evergreen comes from. The evergreen trees, the evergreen plants. They think that because it grows all year, that is something that the sun god can something that the sun god can so something that the sun god helps grow all year. But evergreen tree is proven to have some healing properties. It is healing to have some healing properties, but that don't mean hang it up and decorate it and make it a part and make it an idol, right? Because there is medicines out there that comes from the herbs, but you're not supposed to cut it down and put it in your house and decorate it, and you know what I mean. You're not supposed to light it on fire, roll it up and light it on fire. It says Germany is credited with starting the Christmas tree tradition as we know it in the 16th century, when devout Christians it says when devout Christians brought decorated trees into their homes, some built Christmas pyramids of wood and decorated them with evergreens and candles if wood was scarce. It is widely held to believe that Martin Luther, the 16th century Protestant reformer, first added lighted candles to a tree walking toward his home one winter evening, composing a sermon. He was awed by the brilliance of the stars twinkling in the midst of the evergreens. To recapture the scene for his family, he erected a tree in the main room and wired its branches with lighted candles. Hell, he's the reason why all the houses be burning down around Christmas time. Putting lights on, putting candles on trees. He's the reason right there. You're not supposed to put candles on. You're not supposed to put fire on trees. It burns. He's the definition of forest fire. He's the definition of forest fire. Now we get the actual celebration of history. But first, let's go to Jeremiah 10, chapter 1. Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1. It says, "Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel." It says, "Thus saith the Lord." See, the Lord is saying this. See, we're not just speaking out of the side of our neck. We're not just coming over our own thoughts in our mind. It says, "Thus saith the Lord." The Lord is saying this. We're just reading it. The Lord is saying this stuff. It says, "Learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven." Right? So it says, don't. There it is again about the heathen and the oppressors. Right? It says, don't learn the way of the heathen. right? Learn not the way of the heathen. Don't learn the Christmas. Don't learn the Easter. Don't learn the Thanksgiving. Don't learn the Halloween. Don't learn the weed smoking. Don't learn the cigarette smoking. Don't learn to being an alcoholic. Don't learn the pedophilia. I don't know if that's how you say it. Don't learn the pedophilia. Don't learn the rape. Don't learn their monogamy. Don't learn from the heathen, man. Don't learn from the heathen. Don't learn anything about it. About them. It says, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. Don't worry about the zodiac signs. Don't worry about Orion's belt. Don't be worrying about that thing there. There's Black, Hispanic, and Native American women and men out here that have based their whole relationship or their whole life on zodiac signs. You're like, what is you, a Leo? I can't talk to you because he's a Leo. Meanwhile, you be like, I'm more compatible with a Capricorn, and you get a Capricorn, and Capricorn beat you upside your head every which way just because it's Wednesday or because it's Tuesday. But that's what we're dealing with, though. That's what we're dealing with. Somebody that'll take the stars and get mistreated. Right? It says for the heathen are dismayed at them. Remember we were just talking about every other nation that has a sun god. We were just talking about that from Osiris all the way down to Jupiter. Even Nimrod's mama was calling him he's a sun god. Right? And then we go to Islam. Islam worship the moon and the stars. Islam worship the moon and the stars. You know what I'm saying? So it says, don't be dismayed. Don't be dismayed at them because the heathen are dismayed at them. The heathen look at the stars and be like, ooh, I want to worship that. Look at the sun and be like, I want to worship that. That's what they do. Right? It says, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Verse 3, for the customs of the people are vain. Because the custom of these other nations, they're vain. They're not really, they don't mean anything. They can't do nothing to you. They can't hurt you. They can't help your life. These customs of the people are vain. They don't mean anything. So even if you don't celebrate Christmas, you're not gonna die. If you don't celebrate Easter, you're not gonna die. If you don't celebrate Halloween, you're not gonna die. If you don't keep Thanksgiving, you're not gonna die. Nothing's gonna happen. But you know what happens when you miss Passover? You're sinning, and the wages of sin is death, and you just might die. Same thing with the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Feast of First Fruits, the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets. All these high holy days that the Lord set up are commandments. You know what I mean? And when you break the Lord's commandments, you are sinning. Right? So you might want to be careful of what God you prefer over the other one, or what God you keep you obey over the other one. It says, for the custom of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest. Right? Because it says one cutteth a tree out of the forest. Now, what is that? Who's cutting a tree out of the forest? They've been cutting trees out of the forest since Nimrod, putting them in their house. They've been cutting trees out of the forest since Nimrod. It says, for one cutteth the tree out of the forest. It says the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. Right? Because nowadays we don't go out and cut our own trees. Right? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans don't go out and cut their own trees. They go to the where whoever cut down the tree, and they go buy the tree. Really, most of these trees now are plastic trees. It'd be the same tree from 10 years ago. It's the same plastic trees. They don't do nothing but break it down, put it back in the box. They bought your tree from Walmart, and it ain't a real tree. But back in the days, it was real trees. They had real trees. Verse 4. It says, they deck it with silver and gold. They decorate the tree with silver and gold. Right? Don't they do that now? They decorate the tree with silver and gold with the little with the, I don't know what they call it, ornaments. Ooh, it's been so long. But the ornaments, they put the ornaments on the Christmas tree, and then the kids at school make something. They put that at the Christmas tree. Then they put a little white angel at the top of the Christmas tree, or a pentagram. Say that. I'm gonna say a pentagram because we know stars are not uh points pointed. Stars are balls of gas, right? Or very famous people. It says they deck it with silver and gold, and they fasten it with nails and hammers so that it move not. Because they don't want the tree to tip over, so they fasten it at the bottom with hammer and nails. Now they don't have hammer and nails; they got the little stands. You just put the stand on it, and because it's a plastic tree, it's not a real tree, and it don't stand up tall and high no more. It only stand up about 10 feet. I mean 10 feet. It only stands up about 5-6 feet. It ain't. I'm taller than the tree, but that's just how important it is to sin against the Most High. That's how we're going out of our way to sin against the Most High. Living in the ghetto, going out our way to sin against the Most High. Verse 5, it says they are upright like the palm tree. Because remember, in ancient Egypt, they used palm trees. They used palm trees in ancient Egypt. So it says they are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. See, it don't speak. It might stand up, right? It might stand up, but the tree ain't gonna talk to you. It says they must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. Right? Because they can't do no good, they can't do no bad. It said don't even worry about the tree. So don't put it in your house because you feel like if I don't put it in my house, then something bad's gonna happen. No, nothing bad's gonna happen. It ain't gonna hurt you. It ain't gonna help you. It's just there. So you should take that tree and take it out your house if you have it in your house now. You should take that tree, take it out your house, then throw that tree in a dumpster. Unwrap them gifts and just be like, here, kids, take these gifts. I love y'all. But do not do it for Christmas. Do not be like, oh, this is for Christmas. I'm doing this for you for Christmas. No. Because now you're sinning against your God. Now, if you want to if you want to give your kids gifts every day of the year, except on Christmas, that's up to you. There's nothing wrong with giving gifts to your kids. There's nothing wrong with giving gifts to your kids. But just don't do it on Christmas or on their birthday where don't do it when the Most High tell you not to do it. You know what I'm talking about? Because when the Most High tell you not to do something, you don't do that thing there. All right. We're going to start that over at 3. It says, for the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest with the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. It's telling you how they cut down a tree. The Most High, the Most High is something special because the Most High, He's telling you exactly how about this holiday and about the worship of the trees and how the trees are idols, right? It says, for one cutteth the tree out of the forest, the work of the hand of the workmen with the axe. And verse 4 said they deck it with silver and gold. They decorate the tree with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and hammers, that it move not. It says they are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must need be born, because they cannot go. It says, be not afraid of them. Don't be afraid of them. Don't be afraid like, because I know when I was growing up, going over to people's houses, and they put candy canes on the tree. You'd be like, what kind of candy cane is that? Is that the flavor one? Oh yeah, let me grab that candy cane. You know, somebody they be like, oh, don't touch my tree. They be serious about it too. Don't be touching on my tree. Like, I used to tell my sisters and them, I knock this tree over. Yeah, you know, so I don't care about this tree. I want the candy cane. You know, so they got the candy cane with the peaches and the swirl. It's not a regular candy cane. It's, you know, I want the candy cane. You gonna let me get the candy cane? I'm gonna take the candy. You know, so I ain't taking the candy now, but back then I would take the candy. But they be so serious about their tree. Don't knock over my tree. Don't be touching on my tree. You know, that's how they feel. It says they are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must need be born because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. So trees, the tree is just a tree, man. The tree is just a tree. What makes the tree wicked is the things that we do with the tree. That we put the tree up, decorate it with silver and gold, put wrap presents, give presents to the tree like they did to Nimrod's tree. All right. Now moving on. Next scripture, we're gonna go to Exodus 32, verse 6. Exodus 32, verse 6. Right? Because Exodus 32, verse 6. Because this is exactly what we do on Christmas and on these holidays. This is the exact thing that we do. It says, and they wrote, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 32, verse 6. It says, and they rose up early on the morrow. Right? Because that's what they're doing. When is Christmas? Saturday? On Friday night. Everybody's gonna be trying to cook on Friday night, making food. Right? They're gonna be making food, and they're gonna because they prepping for the next day. Right? It says, and they rose up early on the morrow, and so they're gonna prep all the food at night. And then Big Mama gonna wake up early on Saturday morning and get to cooking all day. It says, and offered burnt offerings. Right? You know what the burnt offerings is? The burnt offerings is the food. Right? The burnt offerings is the food. You know what I'm talking about? Because Big Mama gonna wake up early in the morning. She gonna get to cooking that Christmas ham. And I don't know if they still eat turkey on things. I don't know if they eat turkey on Christmas. I don't know. But that turkey, and then they're gonna be making macaroni and cheese and collard greens and all this food, and they're gonna try to give that up to the Most High. They're gonna try to they're gonna be trying to give that as a burnt offering to the Most High. They're gonna pray over it and everything, and the Lord is not going to accept that. The Lord is not going to accept their burnt offerings. Why is the Lord not going to accept their burnt offerings? Because the Lord don't care about that. The Lord don't care about their burnt offerings. The Lord don't care about the offerings because about them sacrificing or whatever. Because Christ was the perfect sacrifice. Yahweh Shamashiach was a perfect sacrifice. So the Lord don't care about their burnt offerings. The Lord would rather you obey him. The Lord would rather us Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans obey him and not worry about not worry about celebrating these holidays, these wicked hell days. Right? And it says, and they rose up early on the morrow and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. You know what those peace offerings is? Those presents they give into the tree. They trying to give those presents to the tree. Those are peace offerings because everybody got a big bag of gifts. Oh, I got you something. I got you something. I got you something for Christmas. How come y'all didn't give me nothing for the just because it's Monday? Whatever happened to that? You could have gave me something because it was just Monday. Oh, it's Monday? Yeah, and I was thinking about you, bro. And there you go. Oh man, Most High in Christ. My brother Ayalawan did it. My brother Ayalawan was thinking about me. He said, hey, I know you've been looking for this game everywhere, bro. I seen it and I picked it up for you. Here you go. Oh man, word. Right, that peace offering, that peace, and you know what also is the peace offering, that weed, that everybody got to smoke because they got to go. Oh, I got to go over here to go see my cousin, I don't know. Gotta go see my cousin Daryl and my cousin Tyreek and all these weird names. You know, Hebrew names, I'll tell you that. But they gotta go give all these gotta go over here and see them and eat. So they gotta get real high first just so they can deal with their family. Right. They gotta get faded, get lifted first, just so they can deal with their family. Get drunk, just so they can deal with their family. This is your family, man. You tell me you can't deal with your family without getting drunk, without getting high. Right? That's the peace offerings. And it says, and the people sat down to eat and drink. That's what they doing. They passing around that eggnog, eating big fat healthy plates. Big fat healthy plates. This is delicious. This is great. Big mama, you did your thing on this. That's what everybody's doing. They eating big healthy plates, drinking eggnog, eating pecan pie, and what other kind of pie? Eating sweet potato pie. Is this season lemon meringue pie? Because this is season for it. Lemon meringue pie don't do good in the spring and the summertime. You got to do it when it's cold, so it can stay cold. And it says, and they rose up to play. Because after everybody eat, they want to play games like Uno, dominoes, pull out the spades. You know what I'm talking about? They watching football and basketball because they got one of them games on every Christmas, every Thanksgiving. Basketball, football, they you know what I'm talking about? They playing them games and playing they got the new game Taboo. I don't know if that's a new game, but Uno, the drunk Uno. They playing all these different variations of games now. Right. And then they want to go to the club. And everybody go to the club. Women dress like whores, just like they did on Halloween. Now they want to dress nasty. It'd be cold outside. Then they want to go to the club and party with everybody. They end up with coronavirus. Then they end up with a coronavirus. Now what? Now what happens? Let's go to the next scripture. Let's go to Deuteronomy 32, verse 16. Deuteronomy 32, verse 16. All right. Deuteronomy verse 32. Or Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 16. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 16. It says, they provoked him to jealousy with strange gods. Right. Because now we worshiping Nimrod and Jupiter and Osiris and Seraphinelia. I think that's what it's called. Seraphinelia. Now we worshiping all these different gods. Right now we worshiping all these strange gods. It's that they provoked him to jealousy with strange gods. Remember Exodus 20:3 said he would that the Lord is a jealous God. Right? He said now they provoked him to jealousy with strange gods. With abominations provoked him to anger. Right? He said abominations provoked him to anger. Right? We're making our Lord thy God angry because we're worshiping all these other gods. So we're making our power angry. And when our power gets angry in us, we go into slavery. When our power gets angry with us, we become first in diabetes, heart disease, heart attacks, high blood pressure, the gout. I don't even think other nations get gout. Only people that get gout is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Verse 17, it says, they sacrificed unto devils, not God. Right? So they sacrificed unto devils, not the Most High. And it says to gods whom they knew not. Right? To gods, you don't even know these gods. We don't even know these gods that we celebrate. We think we celebrate. We think we keep in the birth of Jesus, right? But then come to find out is Nimrod. Come to find out is Seraphinelia. Come to find out, it's Jupiter, right? It says to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not, right? Because our forefathers didn't know these gods, and if they were out, and they was out back then, but our forefathers didn't care about these guys. They were too busy following the Most High. They was too busy trying to please the Most High. So they didn't give a damn about Nimrod and that worship and Osiris. They didn't care. They didn't give a damn about that. Joseph was the second most important man in all of Egypt, and he still kept his culture. He didn't worship no other gods. It says, of the rock that begat thee, thou art unmindful. He says, and has forgotten God that formed thee. Right? Because we forgot about the Most High that created us, that gave us our heritage, our law, statutes, and commandments for us to be a great nation. We forgot about that, God. Now we just worry about Christmas and Thanksgiving and these other gods that we're keeping. Verse 19. And when the Lord saw it, he abhorred them because of the provoking of his sons and his daughters. Right? Verse 20. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be. For they are a very froward generation, children in whom is no faith. Right, because they saying that we don't have no faith. So he said he's going to hide his face from us. What does that mean when the Lord say he's going to hide his face from us? He's going to turn around. That means he won't be watching us no more. He won't be walking with us no more. He can be like, man, I ain't worried about them. Whatever. They want to worship them other gods. Let's see what them other gods can do for them. And nothing. Those other guys did nothing for us. Actually, those other gods was the reason why we went into slavery. Is the reason why we have a generational curse now. It says, verse 21, they have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. Right. By celebrating his Christmases and Thanksgivings and Easters and Halloweens and different what would you call it? And different pagan holidays that our oppressors set up for us to keep. Like 4th of July, Memorial Day. There's black people out there celebrating Memorial Day. And there's black people out there celebrating Christopher Columbus Day. It said they have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities. And I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. Right. Anybody tell me what nation that would be? That would be the so-called, the Edomites, the so-called white men. Right, because they get to murder us and kill us and not. And if we didn't know this Bible, it'd look like that the Lord is with them. Because they get to murder us and they get to rule the world and everything like that, and no judgment comes to them. Verse 22, for a fire is kindled in mine anger, and shall burn unto the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. Right. That's how angry we make that's how angry we make the Most High, man. The Most High be that angry with us, especially when we start to especially when we disobey Him and keep the traditions of men, man. Keep the traditions of heathens. The whole while He gave us law, statutes, and commandments for us to be separate away from these heathen nations, but then we act like we want to be with these heathen nations. Moving on, we're gonna go to Amos, the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. The book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. That's where we're going to go. I'm going to give everybody a second to get there. The book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. It says, I hate and I despise your feast days. Right, because the Most High hates and despises our feast days. He despises Christmas, despises Thanksgiving, despises Easter, right? Despises 4th of July. He despises all of these days. He says, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. So when everybody think the Most High is there and he wait on the plate, nope, that's not happening. I don't know why everybody think that, because the Most High don't give a damn about Christmas dinner, about Thanksgiving dinner, about Easter dinner. The Most High is more angry at Christmas dinner, Thanksgiving dinner. Right? Verse 22, it says, though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beast. Right. Because you're trying to sacrifice a ham to the Most High. You're trying to sacrifice that honey glazed ham to the Most High, pigs to the Most High. I don't care about your fat beast. I'm not accepting your burnt offerings. I'm not accepting that. I don't care. They're gonna try to pray over the food. The Lord's like, And you know, there's a super Christian in there somewhere. Lord, and nobody can. The Lord don't care about that. The Lord like, yeah, yep. Y'all better listen to the I.S.U.P.K. Oh, that was the Lord saying. Y'all better listen to Commander General Yana and the I.S.U.P.K. for y'all be for y'all be burnt up for the wages of sin is death. For y'all be burnt up with the rest of America. Y'all better be careful keeping these days of the, right? And it says verse 23. It says take thou away from me with the noise of thy songs. Right. With all them Christmas carols, man. This Christmas. You know what I'm talking about? Jingle Bell Rock. Right. And what's that about the Christmas tree? Deck the halls. Right, that one. Right. And the hell with that Temptations Christmas album. Temptations is a bad singing group, man. The Temptations is a bad singing group, but the hell with their Christmas album, man. Nobody want to hear their Christmas album. It's so bad. Rappers starting to come out with Christmas albums. Nobody want to hear them Christmas songs, bro. You keep them Christmas songs, bro. Keep them. You know what I'm talking about? Matter of fact, all that Christmas album list that you throw that away. Most High don't want to hear that bullshit, that BS. Verse 23, it says, take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy vials. I don't know how to say that. I think it's vials. And the Lord's not hearing them Christmas songs. He's not taking them burnt offerings, man. The Lord don't want none of that, man. The Lord don't want none of that. Let's go to Psalms 96. The book of Psalms, chapter 96, verse 4. I got a couple more scriptures in the article. We got now because we're gonna talk about Saint Nick. I don't know where they get Santa Claus from, but Saint Nick is an Israelite, man. The real Saint Nick that lived in 238 AD. Yeah, he's a real Israelite. Used to give gifts to the poor Israelite children, not on no Christmas tip or nothing, but he had extra money. He was giving the poor kids, the poor Israelites gifts, man, things that they needed. Just like the same way the I.S.U.P.K take packs of to give hot meals out to the community, to the homeless, man. Buy them toiletries, man, and things that they can use, deodorants and soaps and toothbrushes and toothpaste. food. You know, some of things just like just like Commander General Hana, just like Commander General Hana does, man. The book of Psalms, chapter 96, verse 4. It says, "For the Lord is great," right? Because the Most High is great, man. The Most High is the greatest thing ever. You know what I'm talking about? The Most High made everything, man. He made the heavens, the earth, the people, the animals, everything. And then he wasn't even there firsthand to make it. He was just telling them to make it. Hey, man, make the earth, man. You know what I'm talking about? Make sure they got firmament, and then separate the firmaments, and then put the firmament up there. Yeah. Just, you know what? Race all that. First, let there be light. We need light. You know, you have to erase all that, light. You know, that's how the Most High is like. That's how great the Most High is. It says, "And greatly to be praised." Right? That's who we should be getting our praises. The Most High, man. The Most High should be getting all of our praises, man. Not the damn Christmas tree and not that damn Santa Claus, man. None of them should be getting no praise, man. None of that. And it says, "He is to be feared above all gods," right? Because we worried about this damn Christmas tree that we putting in our house because we scared that if we don't put the Christmas tree in there, we're gonna have bad luck or something. We worried about it. We don't put the mistletoe in our house. We're gonna have bad luck or something. We mad if we don't put the wreath. We're gonna have bad luck or something. We're not gonna have bad luck, man. The Most High is the one that should be feared, man. You should be scared to put that Christmas tree up because you know the Most High is gonna spank that butt. You should be worried about that. You should be worried about celebrating Christmas because you know the Most High is gonna spank that butt. Verse 5. "For all the gods of the nation are idols." They're what? For all the gods of the nation are idols. That's what we were just talking about, man. With Osiris and Jupiter and Apollos and all these different gods, all these different sun gods, man. They're all idols, man. That's why you resurrect trees to them and stuff like that. They're all idols. And it says, "But the Lord made the heavens." Right, because the Lord made the heavens above, man. The Lord made that. The Lord made the heavens. The Lord made the earth. The Lord made the stars, all that. The Lord made all the people on the earth. The Lord made all the people on the earth. The Lord made all the animals on earth. The Lord made everything, man. The nice car you drive. The Lord made everything, man. There's nothing on this planet that the Lord did not touch. All right. I'm going to read that one more time. The book of Psalms, chapter 96, verse 4. "For the Lord is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods. For all the gods of the nations are idols. But the Lord made the heavens." Right. But the Lord made the heavens, man. The Lord is so great that he'll let his people be destroyed and then bring them back to be the greatest people on the planet, man. That's how great the Lord is, man. Not just once, but twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. As many times as you can count, man. That's how great the Lord is. Let's move on, man. We're going to go to Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 18. We're going to go to Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 18. Habakkuk. The Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 18. It says, "What profited the graven image, that the maker thereof hath graven it?" Right? It says, "The molten image and a teacher of lies." Right? Because the graven image is a teacher of lies. That idol worship is a teacher of lies. That mistletoe, that wreath, that Christmas tree, it's a teacher of lies, man. It says that the maker of his work trusted therein to make dumb idols. Right, because those are dumb idols, man. It don't do anything. It don't do anything, man. It don't talk. It don't move. It don't have good luck or bad luck. You know what I'm talking about? The best thing that the most is gonna do is burn down your whole house because you want to put lights and everything around it. That's what we're gonna do. That's the only thing it's gonna do is burn down your household. Try to kill everybody in there. Cause why? Because it's not of the Lord, man. Verse 19. Woe unto him that saith to the wood. The word woe means destruction. So woe unto him that saith unto the wood, awake, and to the dumb stone, arise, or to the Christmas tree, or to the wreath, or to that mistletoe. Whoever says to them, arise or awake, help me, oh Lord, help me with. Nope. And it says destruction unto him that saith. Destruction unto him. Destruction unto whoever doing that, whoever putting that Christmas tree and that idol. I mean that Christmas tree and that wreath and that mistletoe, making them idols, man. It says woe to them, destruction unto them. It says it shall teach, right? Who you talking about? It's going to teach you something. It says, behold, it is laid over with gold and silver. There it is again. It's laid over with gold and silver. That's what y'all that's what we decorate the Christmas tree in gold and silver. And it says, and there is no breath at all in the midst of it. There's no breath of it at all in the midst of it. It's not going to do anything. It doesn't move. It doesn't think. It doesn't do anything. It's just a tree. The only thing, what gives it power is what you believe in it. Right now we're gonna get into Saint Nicholas, right? Because Saint Nicholas was an Israelite that lived around 238 BC, the 238 AD, right? And he used to do. We're gonna read it. We're gonna read it. It says Santa Claus, otherwise known as Saint Nick. Oh well, let me get the title. It says Santa Claus is fiction. The real Saint Nicholas. It says Santa Claus, otherwise known as Saint Nicholas or Kris Kringle, has a long history steeped in the Christmas tradition. Today, he is thought of mainly as a jolly man in red who brings toys to good girls and boys on Christmas Eve. But his story stretches all the way back to the 3rd century, when Saint Nicholas walked the earth and became the patron saint of children. Right, he became the patron saint of children. I mean, he was helping these kids. It says found out more about the history of Santa Claus from his earliest origins to the shopping mall Santas of today, and discover how 2 New Yorkers, Clement Clark Moore and Thomas Nast, were major influences on the Santa Claus millions of children wait for each Christmas Eve. It says the legend of Santa Claus can be traced back hundreds of years to a monk named Saint Nicholas. It is believed that Saint Nicholas was born sometime around 280 AD in Patara near Mara in modern-day Turkey. It says much admired for his piety and kindness. Saint Nicholas became the subject of many legends. It is said that he gave away all of his inherited wealth and traveled the countryside helping the poor and sick. One of the best-known St. Nicholas stories is the time he saved 3 poor sisters from being sold into slavery or prostitution by their father by providing them with a dowry so that they could be married. It says, over the course of many years, Nicholas' popularity spread and became known as the protector of children and sailors. His feast day is celebrated on the anniversary of his death, December 6th. This is traditionally considered the lucky day to make large purchases or or to get married. By the Renaissance, Saint Nicholas was the most popular saint in Europe, even after the Protestant Reformation. When the veneration of the saints began to discourage, Saint Nicholas maintained a positive reputation, especially in Holland. And then that's when it changed to a white man. Up until then, it was always a black man until the Renaissance, because in the Renaissance they wanted to they started whitewashing everything and making everything that was black white. I'm gonna do a class on that pretty soon on the Dark Ages, because a lot of the Dark Ages, people in the Dark Ages was black men. Most of the rulers were black men. But yeah. And with that, we're the I.S.U.P.K. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And we been teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans the truth since 1969. And we are not affiliated with any other group. And with that, class dismissed.
Bluetooth enabled.
Wait, I better stop there. Why isn't it playing?
Oh, jokes aside, how niggas be like, I'm busy for life, this and that for life. I'm on this for life, nigga. This is blood.
It's long, y'all. But shut up.
Here go a class for you, my nigga. 140 for the road. The world turned its back on me. I'm a cripple. We got soldiers. He got soldiers, but I got different ones. Hell way out. I tell you what. Don't pray for nothing. Nothing in the curse. We can't forgive us for me. Remain in the trenches. Trust in the Lord, but please forgive me for the times that I did or if rain give me. Have your respect to your oppressor. Be about your business, this loyalty, and damn sinners. Trying to pick up with a blind friend. They said they'll be many advances. I'm just grinding for my time share. The devils and clan threat. They hunt you like bad pepper. But ain't no getting out the game like you munchies. You take that office of Dundee. They try to deal death to a priest. You won't make it out in one piece. So you can stand. Just make sure you got the heart. Say your name 3 times and it's death to us possible. So how you feel about this truth out of show? Just acting like you think, you nigga. I should won't. Even your own people gon' be show. And when no one said they hate you for my name, yeah, you better keep it on. Ain't no more kiss, ain't no more question. Make sure my election till I'm tucked away like George Jefferson. Murder for capital knives, murder at the Capitol. The world in amazement, we like fucking raising. I pity those watching life as it go by. Be giving mercy in his life, I don't know why. It comes smoke, never try to avoid. They dead out, my brother be the dead. It's all I know. It's a photo salute, my nigga. Salute, my nigga. Like, how you stay focused? I told him I'm motivated because of you, my nigga. Brotherhoods and weapons, still got weapons on the street. Now, I never do my niggas like Bishop Ibrahim. Never mind, you don't believe. They under anesthesia. So they say she believe, said she wanna let that love go. So I let that love go. But if I breathe to my bed, that's a blood oath. So, how you feel like this truth out of show? You take it like you think, nigga. I should know. Even your own people go this home. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on.